Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning. I bring you greetings from All Photos Considered and myself, Jewel Wilson Murphy. We are so glad that you are joining us again this week as we continue to look at Women's History Month. Women's History Month. Last week, I asked everybody to write down below what woman influences you, what woman encourages you. What is that person? Who is that person? And maybe how did they do that? And so for those of you who commented, thank you so very much. I still would love to read your comments from last week, as I would love to read your comments from this week. So this week is a little bit different. This week I kind of want to talk about hurts. You know, our whole system here, our whole theme is hurts, hang-ups, and habits. And as I talk today, it's going to be a little bit of both hurts, hang-ups, and habits. And we're going to kind of segue into forgiveness and unforgiveness. And the reason why is because on March 11, 2022, my husband passed away. And many of you guys know a little bit of the story. And the story went such as this. In 2002, we were married. In 2017, I moved out of the home. In 2022, he got sick and went into the hospital. And although we had been separated for some years, at the end of the day, at the end of his last 2.5 months on earth, I served him. And I was able to serve him every single day at the hospital, morning, noon, and night. Every morning, called to check on, make sure he was doing okay, that he had a great night. In the midday, I would call and check on. If I didn't call him, the hospital or the nurses were calling me, or he was calling me. If he had an episode, if he wasn't doing really well, they would call me. I would leave work and I would go check on him. In the evening when I got off from work, I went to check on him. And a lot of people don't really understand that. And I just thought today, as we are recording today, and by the time you see this, it would have been the 1-year anniversary of my husband passing away. But some of y'all might want to know, what is a husband? A husband is the fact that he was my husband. So he went on to be with the Lord last year, May 11. I'm sorry, I keep saying May. It's March 11, 2022. And I was able to just walk in doing it. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes we've been so hurt that we can't get past whatever that thing was that caused us to separate, whatever that thing was that caused us to leave, whatever that thing was that caused us to say, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. But sometimes you can forgive that hurt and you can move forward. And sometimes you forgive that hurt just as naturally as it is breathing. And so that's what I was able to do, to walk in forgiveness just as though I was breathing. So I had been hurt. I had hang-ups that we both did, hang-ups that wouldn't allow us to go forward. We had some habits, hurts, and hang-ups that just kept us from going forward. But what I'm grateful for today is we're talking about women's history, as we're talking about Women's History Month. As women, sometimes it seems so difficult to do that one thing. Forgive, forget, lay down your hurt, lay down your habit, lay down your hang-up, whatever that situation is. Today, I just want to encourage us, because sometimes it's not easy. Most times it's not easy, but it is necessary. And so what I want to encourage us to do is I share a little bit of my journey, a little bit of the story of what occurred the last 2.5 months of my husband's life. I was able to walk it out. I was able to just go. And it didn't even matter. Whatever was needed, I showed up. And many people didn't understand. I'm going to tell you one person that really didn't understand it. That was me. I just went. And so I would encourage you all today, if I had to say a title today for this segment, would be to walk it out. And how you walk it out, don't think it. Don't overthink it. Just be about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. And so that way you can encourage other people. I've thought about this segment for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it may not come across as smooth as many of the others, but I want to just encourage us in this month of March, as we look at women's history. Look at yourself. Look at that thing that has caused you to be a part of your own history. For me, walking in forgiveness. For me to be able to even still now listen to my recordings that he left me messages that I had not even listened to before he passed away, where he said, thank you, Jewel, thank you for coming. Thank you for serving me. Thank you for doing this. And knowing the fact that as he closed his eyes, he knew that I had forgiven him, which I thought I had forgiven him long ago, and I believe that I had. But what my point is today, more significantly, is that although I had forgiven him in my heart, I was able to demonstrate it physically by serving him. Now, so what does that do? Forgiveness frees you. Unforgiveness keeps you in bondage. So I am free to live my life. Others are free to live their lives when they've done that. You guys, by seeing this today, you will be reminded of how you can walk it out freely. Forgive and become free. Know that it's not always easy, but it is always necessary. So with that being said, on March 25th, if you want to know more about that journey, I will be doing another podcast, and I'll give you more information about that coming up. But today, I just want you all to remember Women's History Month. Women's history is just like Black history. It's everybody's history. If there's something I can say to you to encourage you to forgive that person, to forgive that husband, to forgive that brother, that sister, that mother, that father, that friend, walk in forgiveness, because walking in forgiveness is freedom. I hope you have a great week.